Electronic bidding for drivers allows your drivers a very quick and easy way to indicate their interest and availability in trips. When your drivers log in, they will come to a page that looks like this. There could be three tabs. They will have a driver tab, which is where they will do most of their work while they're doing their bidding. The calendar tab is available to the drivers, although it is an option that you can hide from them, but the calendar tab would provide them with the trip calendar and the driver calendar, so they would be able to see trip requests that are on the trip calendar, as well as the driver calendar is going to show trips that drivers have been assigned to. So they would have that visibility. When they log in the very first time, they're going to see your assignments. And so if they have already been assigned to any trips, they will have a list of those trips that they have already been assigned to. Notice here in the list they have the option to print their trip tickets one at a time, with just the trip ticket or with the driving directions, or they do have a button to print trip tickets for all here. So if they would like to just go ahead and print all their trip tickets for the week, perhaps they can do that. There is a print button where they could just print a list of their trips if they would like to, that they've already been assigned to. There is, of course, a sort, like there is in all of the views or most of the views, that they can sort it by different criteria. By default, it is by pickup date, so the trip at the top will be the trip that's going out next. Now, in order for the drivers to bid, it is very, very easy. When the bid is opened, which is done by transportation, they will be able to come in and choose the first option, trips available for bidding. And so this is going to bring up a list of trips that they can bid on. They will select the bid ID that's open. If there is more than one open, they'll select the one that is the one they're interested in bidding on. Now, transportation can control what they see here by only opening one bid period at a time. But they would, for example, pick the bid period. This is for the week of April 7th, so trips going out the week of April 7th. So notice that what the drivers can see here is two panels. On the left is a trips panel, and on the right is a bids panel. And of course right now there's nothing in the bids panel because I haven't bid on anything yet. In the trips panel, I see a just kind of a very much of a summary view of the trips that are available for bidding. I can see the trip number. In the first column, I can see the school that's traveling. In the second column, I can see the pickup and return dates and times, and the number of hours this trip is supposed to last. And in the third column, I can see the type of trip, whether it's a field trip, an athletic trip, perhaps a staff trip. I can see the destination, where they're traveling to. If it's an athletic trip, I'll see the team. And then also I see the type of vehicle that's been requested. So that's just the very basics of the trip information. Now there is a more that you can hover over. The driver can hover and bring up a window showing more details about the trip that is available if they want to see a little bit more information. And then remember, they do have the the calendar. They can go to the trip calendar and find that trip and hover over it in the calendar, which brings up, of course, a very large window of information. So if they have decided that they do want to bid on any particular trip that is available for bidding during that bid period, it's very simple. They would just simply click on the bid button on that particular trip. And notice when I clicked that button, now that trip is over on the bids panel. So this is a trip I'm interested in driving. I'm available and interested. And so then as the driver, I'm just going to review the ones that I'm interested in, and I'll just continue to click the bid button and throw those trips over into the bid column. So let's say those are the ones I'm interested in. I've got 5 trips over here that I'm interested in bidding on. Now the order that you click the bid is the order that it's going to put them in your bids column. If you would like to prioritize these and change the order of them, that's very easy to do. Over on the left where you have your options, they would choose the prioritize your bids. And so we would click that. And now those 5 trips that I was interested in are now over here and I can list them by priority. So the trip at the top is the one I'm most interested in. But if I'm looking through my list and I see this third trip here, it's like, that's really the one I would like to go on, this trip 2554. Maybe that's maybe my child is on this in this class and I really want to drive for that. So I'm going to move it up in priority. So I'm going to click the move up button and put 2554 at the top of the list. So that's my first priority. As I'm reviewing my trips, it's possible, what if I realize, oops, I've bid on one that I can't do? Maybe I have a doctor's appointment or something. Well, it's very easy to remove a bid from your list simply by using the checkbox here. So let's say this trip 2621, I realize I can't drive for that one as I look at the time a little closer. So I'm going to click on the checkbox and click the delete selected bids button here, and it's going to ask me, am I sure? And I'll say yes, I do want to delete that one from my list. So now that one's gone from my list. And now your drivers can go back and forth from the trips available for bidding during that bid period and continue to put other trips into their bid if they'd like to, and go back and forth prioritizing as many times as they'd like to. Once they have finished, they've all the trips that they're interested in are in their bid. If they've prioritized and they've got them in the order that they like them, they're done. The driver doesn't have to do anything else. There's no save or submit or anything like that. They just get the trips the way that they want them. Now notice there is a print bids button here. If they'd like to print out their list of bids that the trips that they bid on, they certainly can do that, but they don't have to. And once the driver has done that, they're done. They are done with the bid, and they would simply just log out. And then once all of the drivers have bid and transportation has closed the bid, then that's when transportation will go in and award those trips out based on the driver's seniority and then the priority of trips that they listed. So that's how the drivers would bid electronically. Very, very easy. There is a driver interface, a mobile interface that your drivers could use their mobile phones if that would be something that they would be interested in. Of course, we do have a quick reference guide available which gives step-by-step instructions and screenshots for those drivers, and there is a driver training video that's always available to them as well as our support link. So they would be able to have any questions answered and get help if they needed help with the bidding. But it's a very simple process. Thank you.